In March last year, the school had a sponsored swim, and the children were going to swim the length of the pool. And I promised I would be there to watch her, but I was late out of work and would only be in time to meet her afterwards. But when I got there were no people in the pool, and a teacher was there with a group of the kids. She was crying, and some of the children were crying. And this woman, another one of the mums, came up to me and said that there had been an accident and that Neve had hit her head and she'd been in the water. But they were trying to resuscitate her and she'd be all right. I didn't believe it was happening. I thought it must have been somebody else. But then I was taken into a room and she was on the table. It was a table for table tennis, and the ambulance man was giving her the kiss of life. She was in her bathing suit. And the man said he didn't know if what he was doing was working, and he didn't know if she was alive. So he wrapped her in a towel and carried her out to the ambulance, and I got in the back with him. He radioed on ahead. They were going to put her on a machine at Beaumont and try and revive her there. But he knew. I think. She wasn't breathing, and he just knew. He asked if I wanted to say goodbye to her now in case I didn't get a chance to later. So I gave her a little hug. She was freezing cold. And I told her Mummy loved her very much. She just looked asleep. But her lips were blue and she was dead. It all went by so quickly. Just a few minutes. I don't think I need to tell you how hard it was. But then one morning, Daniel had gone to work and I was in bed. I usually lay there for a few hours and try and stay asleep. And the phone rang. And I just left it. I wasn't going to answer it. And it rang for a long time, and eventually it stopped and I dropped back off to sleep. And then it started ringing again for a long time, and I thought it must have been Daniel or someone who knew I was there. So I went down and answered it. And the line was really faint. It was a crossed line. I could hear voices, but I couldn't hear what they were saying. And then I heard Neve. She said, "Mummy." And I said, "Yes." And she said she was scared, and would I come and collect her? And I said I would. Of course I would. Where are you? And she said she thought she was at Nana's house, in the bedroom, but that Nana wasn't there. She said that there were children knocking in the walls, and a man was standing across the road looking up at her through the window, and he was about to cross the road, and would I come and get her? And I dropped the phone and I ran out to the car in the t-shirt that I had just slept in. I drove to Daniel's mother's house. I could hardly see, I was crying so much. I knew she wasn't going to be there. I knew. Just to think that wherever she was, that I wouldn't be able to help her. There's nothing I can do about it.